Welcome back. As you may have seen, I've been working on the XL125 and I've currently got that on the bench. I need to make myself a work stand for it. So that's what we're going to show you here. Just a very simple square with uprights and some rods to go through the bottom engine mounting bolts.
Before I go any further with this, I've decided I need to make up a support frame for it. So it's a bit easier to handle, a bit easier to get nuts and bolts undone, something to lever against effectively. So I'm going to weld up a square base of roughly 13 inches by, what have we got there, about 11. Yeah, 11 or a foot. And then I've got the two bottom mounts, so this bolt here and this bolt here, which the centres are, let's have a quick look at that, 9.5 inches apart. So yeah, 9.5. So I'll make up a couple of uprights on the square base and then just have some studding going through the holes in those uprights to support the whole engine. That will just make life a lot easier while I'm going forward and stripping this down and kind of working on the bottom end as well. So when I get past taking this off and start seeing what's inside the lower end of this as well, bearings wise, crank bearings and things like that. So let's go ahead and measure that up and weld that up. I'll show you a bit of that. So what I've got here is a lot of old box section. I think that's 20mm box section there. Doesn't matter about the fluting on the side, it's all weld up fine. Need to clean it all off, as you can see, it's a bit rusty. So we'll make up the base with that. I've got some flat bar, which should be heavy enough in short length there. That's to support that little lightweight engine. So we'll make those for the uprights. And then I've got some rodding. I need to check the diameter of this against the bolt holes. If not, I've got some this kind of twisted steel. This will be ample to support the engine. Might be a little bit flexible once it's in there, but I need to measure that up and see if that fits through the bottom bolt holes of the engine. So we'll cut those to length. We'll come back in a second when I've got it arranged for welding and show you what we do with that. There we go, effectively make those stand up. That arrangement with holes drilled in. There we go. Right. This along here is the longest side, so the engine will fit back to front like this. And you put these on the top. I'll clean this up here for these. Then at least when you weld these on, you don't have to stay above the bottom line. You can kind of go below the bottom line there because look, I've got this gap. So we'll weld that frame up, get these on at, I think it was 9.5 inches apart, so that I can then drill the holes in. So I might drill those first. I'll go and look at what the stud size is first. So let's go and check that out. Right, I've only got two options on the studs. I've got one which is just about the right length. This fits in the rear and then I've got some kind of twisted steel that will do for the other one. So we'll cut those to length a little bit later. Let's get the measurements right for across this, and then get the frame welded up square. Drill some holes in these plates so that it can accept the studding. Okay, tack welded up as near square as it needs to be. This isn't precision engineering, but good enough for what I'm doing here. So now we'll just get the rest of the welds done. Okay, so that should be strong enough for holding that engine. So we'll get the uprights put onto here now. I just need to clean up the insides of these so that I can weld against those and get the short bars put on. Okay, I've got the holes drilled large enough to take the twisted steel rodding that I've got. So that will fit on that now. So just now need to get this cut off to length and the alignment of those correct. So I'll work out a method of doing that. So the centres are supposed to be 9.5. So let's get that kind of over there somewhere. Yeah. So let's put the first one in, and then we'll work around that going forwards. Okay. Let's just measure roughly length from the end on that one. Just under 2 inches. So we'll just tack that one in there. Okay, I think we're done. Just check around that I've kind of got these secure. I think I've covered every angle on them. Yeah, enough to be solid. Oh no, just on that side there. Right, now let's test it. Right, here we go. See if this fits. Right, lift it enough to slide it through the second bit. Tap. Okay, back one is in. Now, the moment of truth. Lift this up and we'll see if I've got the alignment right. Okay, let's just give that a tap through. Don't think it's quite aligned, but let's see how we go. There we go. Almost perfect. That was a couple of mil out just at that end, but because the bar is flexy, I managed to just bend it into that. So now I've got that properly mounted, so now I can properly spanner on it. What I'm just going to do is cut the bottoms of these off, because I just set them level with the side runners. So I'll cut those off because I can see they're scratching on the top here. So I need it to be able to move around easily, but that'll work fine. Right, gave it a light coat of paint just with some old Hammerite that I had. Not the best of colours, but hey, stands out on the video. And cut off the bottoms of those. There we go. Now get to anywhere I need on that. And then if I need to turn it over, I just pull one of the rods out and I can tilt it backwards or forwards on either of those two. So sorted. That now gives me an easily accessible 360-degree turn on that. There we go. So let's get to tearing this apart now.
Hope you like that and gave you some ideas. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you in further episodes of this XL125 engine rebuild.